You can also use this other motion from the Jurus this way. Before we used it as a tackle defense. You can also use this motion if you're here and you move in with this motion, or rather with this Khalid motion, or even this grabbing motion here. If we use it as a hit this way. So if we're here and I use this as a hit, and now I want to clear this arm to get in for this throw, I can use this motion. Okay, I can even use this to attack the hip here, this way, to try to get more off balance and to try to get in a little bit deeper for this throw, this way. Okay, and I can keep this as he falls so that I can produce a break with this, and so that I can also keep this a little bit more solid. I can smash the head into the knee. If he sets that hand down to try to catch himself, I can actually take that with me, so that as I take him down now, I've got him in a much worse posture, and I can crush the head against the knee this way. All right? Okay. Alright, so what we'll work on today is an application from the Sera Jurus Satu, and this is an application that's based on Lankatiga. And what we're doing is we're basing our footwork on this Chumadi stance facing this guy. This guy's coming forward, we're attacking him, we're in the Chumadi stance, already engaged in combat. And then someone attacks from this line where we're kind of forced into this Lanka Garis type attack where we're just pressing forward on this one line. So what we'll do is we'll use the applications from this Gunting, we'll use an application from this Khalid motion, and we'll use an application for, like I said, Lankatiga. What we'll do is, if you can imagine that we're stepping up to this point on this triangle, we're going to bring our foot back to this other point. So if I'm here, and I'm standing on this Chumadi stance, you can see the third point is kind of right there. If I'm here and I'm standing on one line, I can bring my foot back to this point. Okay? The reason for that is if this guy's pressing forward here, I want to be on a more solid position where I'm hitting him on a more solid line. So I'll have these guys do this, and so if Eric is out here and Chris is attacking him, let's do it this way. So if Eric were in this position, I would be his attacker. I'm in this position here, coming in at this Chumadi stance. And then Chris is going to kind of sneak attack him from the side a little bit. So what he's doing is just kind of moving in on this straight line with this little bit of a shuffle. And if he lands on the outside, he's going to use the beset with this gunting type motion. You can actually do a gunting. You can come into the collarbone or the sternum. You can even come into the neck. For right now, just to make sure we're producing this throw, he's coming right across the chest. So again, yes. And you'll notice I'm not trying to get him to do this huge beset type motion where he's kicking his foot back. He's literally just fixing his posture. He's just correcting his posture. So the reason I'm showing this today is because we were saying, like, you know, if you're doing your gunting here, or you're flanking on this guy here or here, what happens if another guy attacks from this direction where you're on one line and you don't have as many options footwork-wise? And so your initial reaction is, I want to get back to a more solid stance, to a more comfortable posture. So what I did was I took that posture reset that we're doing to get us back to that solid posture, and I made that a part of the technique so that you're not wasting a motion. So your other choice is if you move in here as you're pressing forward. And the reason why I'm using just this press forward is I'm saying maybe the guy comes in so quickly that you don't have a lot of time to react. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of pressing this knee forward to get some pressure on him, using this Khalid to kind of direct him off of this line. And now what we can do is we can produce this Sapu motion. So what I'm doing is, as we do the beset before, I'm bringing my foot back to this point of the triangle. This time I'm just bringing it to this point. Okay? So as he moves in here, and I'm pressing forward here with this Khalid, now I pull this in this way. Okay? And now as I do this, I can put it back down where it came from, and that would be a destruction on the leg, this way. I can also Sapu here, and say I don't have the desired effect, say it just kind of knocks them off balance a little bit, I can put my foot back on that intended point from the beset where we were pushing it back. So here, and now I'm attacking the place that I'm a little bit more comfortable with. So these guys will play with this for a minute and you can see what they're doing. So just go ahead and work, one of each maybe. Okay, just make sure that you keep this nice and solid. Don't get it too close together. Because look at where your Chamandi stance is. Yeah, your Chamandi stance would be there. So if you were fighting me here and he snuck in there, that's where you produce the technique from. So let's treat this as it is, a multiple attacker scenario. Let's treat it like one. So we're here and Chris is coming in from this direction. Maybe he doesn't see Chris. Maybe Chris sneaks from out of nowhere and I'm coming in this way. So as Chris comes in, he besets him right into me. And see, now he has a second to prepare for whatever's going to happen. Okay? You can also use this other motion from the Jurus this way. Before we used it as a tackle defense. You can also use this motion if you're here and you move in with this motion, or rather with this Khalid motion, or even this grabbing motion here, if we use it as a hit this way. So if we're here and I use this as a hit, and now I want to clear this arm to get in for this throw, I can use this motion. Okay, I can even use this to attack the hip here, this way, to try to get more off balance, and to try to get in a little bit deeper for this throw, this way. Okay, and I can keep this as he falls so that I can produce a break with this, and so that I can also keep this a little bit more solid. I can smash the head into the knee. If he sets that hand down to try to catch himself, I can actually take that with me. So that as I take him down now, I've got him in a much worse posture, and I can crush the head against the knee this way. All right? Okay. Right here, and now Eric moves in here. And I'm here. I'm going to stick to him so that he can't get away. But the idea immediately after. Good. Shuffling forward here. Good. So an application from Jurus 2 from that first punch, what we'll do is we'll use the ready posture. We'll draw an application from that as well. So we'll say we're forward, maybe we press forward towards this guy and do a Khalid or something on this punch. And then he throws a second punch low. So what we'll do is we'll draw back with this cat stance, and now we'll press back forward with this tongue back strike this way. Okay? So slowly from here. And whatever happens with this strike, and then a low strike comes in, and I can either hit it, or I can deflect it, or I can draw it with this motion, this way. And then I'm going to press back forward with this strike. So the Jurus is here, and then we're striking forward with this tongue jack strike. So again, the application. If I'm here forward, and I draw backwards this way, and then I press this back forward. This other hand can be used to do anything else in the Jurus-san. So whatever I'm doing with this motion here, if I parry here and punch here, it doesn't matter, that's application, so you can do whatever you want. You can see this hand being kind of active during this punch instead of just being in a static position back here. Gives you a lot of opportunity to create applications out of that. So one more time, if he throws that low punch, maybe here, here, and you really drive forward with this, you get your stance behind it.